Good morning, Mr. Burbage. My name's Josh and I'll be conducting a health check on your XC60 today. To begin with, around at the near side front of the vehicle, this tyre is on 4.1mm, there's no cuts or gouges to the tyre. Coming round onto the brakes, the brake pad's on the near side front, measuring at 7mm. The discs are slightly lipped, but nothing to be concerned about just yet, as there's plenty left on the pads. And coming round into the suspension components and mounts on the near side front, everything's intact and operating as it should be. There's no excessive movement from any of the bushes or the mounts. Coming round onto the engine and gearbox. Gearbox nice and dry. Engine, we do appear to have a little bit of an oil leak occurring. There's one occurring from the oil cooler, working its way out of the seal. And we've also spotted that there may be one coming from the crankshaft seal, as there is oil around the crankshaft seal area. This is something that we're going to have to strip down to confirm. As well, just at the top of the engine, it does appear to be a little bit difficult to see from this angle. It does appear that there is some oil working its way down from the crankshaft, from the rocker cover or the camshaft seal, camshaft cover, working its way down. A bit difficult to get the camera in to show you. We're going to differentiate between which is which, if there's two leaks or if it's just one culminating in the same place. Moving on, the suspension components on the offside front are all intact and operating as they should be, and the tyre on the offside front of the vehicle is measuring at 3.5mm at the lowest point. No cuts or gouges to the tyre, and coming round onto the brake pads on the offside front are measuring at 7mm. Going down the centre of the vehicle now, the exhaust is nice and secure, there's no leaks towards the rear. Down towards the rear of the vehicle, nice and dry with the diff, rear trailing arm bushers, shock absorbers, boots and all the mounts are all intact and operating on the rear. This applies to both sides. Coming onto the offside rear tyre, the offside rear tyre is on 4.7mm, that's the lowest point, no cuts or gouges to the tyre. Coming round onto the brake pads on the rear, measuring at 5mm with a slight lipping occurring to the disc. Across to the near side rear tyre is measuring at 4.2mm, that's the lowest point, no cuts or gouges to the tyre. Coming round onto the brake pads on the rear, again measuring at 5mm. And that concludes the vehicle health check. There's a couple of things I'd like to run through with you. A few things that we found. The oil cooler seal is perished and leaking. The rocker cover has got a slight leak from the top of the engine. There's also a leak that we believe is coming from the crankshaft seal, although we'll have to strip down to confirm. Other than that, you've got the power pulse pipe which is split. There's a rear offside door seal which has come loose from the vehicle. The towing eye cover as well. We're going to get sorted for you, which is already on the vehicle. I'll pass all this information on to the service advisor and he'll be in touch. Thank you very much and have a nice day.